This is a cityscape, so to speak, of Kabul. I don't think that very many people think about Afghanistan as a freezing cold place, but it was when we were there. It was winter and there was tons of snow. Every day it was snowing. And this beautiful fog kind of encapsulated the city on this particular day. And that's a photo of what we saw. I just thought it was interesting. This is a photo of our UN armored vehicle pulling into the front of our hotel. To most people, that doesn't look like a hotel at all because there's a man with an automated weapon and a secured steel gate entrance with a peephole. This is a photo of our outdoor studio, or the first one, at least. We were shooting against black, so we used a small collapsible black that was really light to travel with and easy to set up. And we were using battery packs the entire trip because we couldn't plug in anywhere, obviously. So, I mean, we never expected to be shooting outdoors on a minefield, but we knew that the electricity was going to be a problem either way. So that's just one of the things that goes along with traveling to these countries, is preparing for the worst. This is a photo of me with our security from the trip and an Afghan boy. This was taken on the first day of shooting in a minefield. The whole time that we were shooting outdoors, it was snowing. We were pretty much in a snowstorm the entire time we were there. So our security is holding what would be a reflector for a photographer above the subject to keep the snow from getting in the photos. This photo is of, it's a chair, I guess, that you would put in your living room, and it's sitting underneath a former plane that's now out of commission at Omar in Kabul, which is one of the oldest demining action groups in Afghanistan. This is a photo of some potatoes on my plate. We stopped twice during our trip to Afghanistan to eat on the roadside because there really wasn't anywhere else to get food. And in this case, they'd served it to us on these plates, but the plates were dirty. So they gave us newspaper to lay all of these potato things on. And the newspaper that they ripped up was a local Afghani newspaper, but it happens to have all of these classified ads from American soldiers and their wives or girlfriends, and they're just kind of these messages to them saying hello to their families and that they love them. And I don't really know how they expected those messages to get back to their families, but they tried. These are the UN cars, again, in the minefield. To us, that was kind of a new experience. Neither of us had ever been in an armored vehicle, and we'd never traveled with security. The whole time that we were in Afghanistan, we had radios and the bulletproof vests and helmets. This photo was the gate to a local school. It was an elementary school that we were photographing children in, and they had traveled from far and wide to learn about demining and about how to protect themselves from mines in their daily life. They were living in an active mine zone, so it's something that's very important to all of them. This was taken at the Baghi Babar Gardens in Kabul. which is a public garden. And we were there on a particularly foggy day. It was really a beautiful place. I think it's it was the only beautiful place that I saw while we were in Afghanistan that was just like a clean public space that you could kind of wander around freely in. This is a photo of me on the floor of our made-up studio in Kabul, and it was our second day of shooting. We were photographing members of the demining action coalitions, and which are part of the UN in Kabul. And I was extremely tired. It had been a really emotional trip, and I feel like you can really see that in my face. I look exhausted, and it was a difficult week for us both. Seeing people coming in and out of the studio with artificial legs or health complications. It was the first time for me to be in a situation like that, and I think that photo pretty well says what was going on.